Round 6, Mondello Park. And who's going to cope best with this typically Irish weather? And is Ulsterman Jonathan Ray ready for the top step of the podium?
Two years ago, Jonathan Ray was on pole here at Mondello Park. It ended in disaster in turn 1. Will he be able to convert it this year? And gets a great start from him, and number 4 bike moves across on Kianari, his teammate, down to Honda for the first time. Honda corner then, and it is Jonathan Ray that's got a great start there. Haslam underneath Kianari, moves Kianari up the hill, and round the outside comes the stalker. It looked to me like Chris Walker got a great start as well. We look back from Jonathan Ray into the eyes of Leon Haslam. So, lap 1 of 18, the Bennett's British Superbike race is underway. Hopefully a good, clean opening lap from all of these riders. If we can, it's Kianari that's in 3rd place, but Johnny Ray, looking for his first ever Bennett's British Superbike win, comes off of that magnificent win that he and Kianari had in Japan a couple of weeks ago. In fact, a week ago. What am I talking about? And Kianari now looking for his first ever Superbike win. Big, tall deal for this young man, Neil Mackenzie.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. On a real roll as far as his career is concerned. And just to top that off nicely would be his first British Superbike win. But Leon Haslam, he's always been strong around this racetrack.
Oh!
And he knows he can't let him get away, and he's strong in the brakes. And look at that.
Well, Haslam, it looked very calm and cool and collected when I spoke to him earlier on this morning, as did Jonathan Ray. Jonathan Ray, not at all fazed by being here in Ireland, and really looked like he was, well, magnificently relaxed. I mean, if I remember back to Snetterton, he seemed very tense at Snetterton. But Jonathan Ray, of course, they've had no time on these motorcycles in the dry, just 20 minutes this morning this year, and if you go back, you can only go back to 2005. Oh dear me, we're on with Cal Crutchlow. So really, Cal Crutchlow getting his nose wiped, and there's Gregorio Lavia off the 3rd row, just in front of our camera bike now. It's a Rizza Suzuki of Cal Crutchlow. Crutchlow, a little bit of a mistake, and certainly getting wiped as far as that's concerned.
So Lavia has got some work to do. You can see Carl Harris coming through.
And Lavia's
past him.
Yeah,
Lavia's on the back of Walker, and these are all getting backed up here behind Jonathan Ray. Meanwhile, Lavia's made huge inroads.
This will be a fastest lap surely for Lavia. Keep an eye out. It'll be a new lap record, I'm sure, for Lavia. Yes, it is 1:39.7.
Wow.
Well, I'm not that bright, but certainly he looked fast. So therefore, another lap record. Haslam had it a moment ago. Now it's Lavia's again. He was the recipient of the lap record back in 2005.
I can't believe the ground he made up on that last lap. He really is on the charge. Let's see if he can do some passing. He's got 4 riders in front of him. Now is when the challenge starts.
It gets harder the further up the field you get, of course, and Lavia has now got some very good riders to make it past. And he's right on the case of Walker now. And Walker's style and Walker's track position might just suit Lavia for a bit of a pass.
Or the opposite. I know some riders have said that the opposite is true. Chris does move around the track. He moves around the bike. He's not the easiest rider to pass.
Well, we'll wait and see fairly soon. Lavia, well, he's got plenty of time to sort this out. We're only on lap 5 of 18. Leon Camia, again, somebody, well, he's not going to be impressed with himself this weekend.
It's an average day for Leon Camia because he's used to running
below
used
average.
to finishing on the Rosson, very much below average, and yeah, it's a tough weekend so far for Leon.
Looking back at the other HM Plant Honda from Jonathan Ray's machine. And again, the onboard's giving you some insight into just how tight this track is. Through the left-hander now, power on, but again, only up into, what, 3rd gear through this section for these guys. 3rd and 2nd gear, getting a good workout around this racetrack.
Certainly, everything gets a good workout. The tyre, suspension, riders, engines. It's a tough old racetrack on bikes. But amazing result there ride for Ollie Bridewell, number 46, up to 11th position, right behind Tommy Hill. So normally his brother Tommy getting the better of him, but Tommy at the moment down in 14th position.
Just behind Hudson Kenner on the Virgin Mobile Optima Loans Yamaha. Tommy Hill, the best of that bunch, up 10th place, and then Hudson Kenner in 13th place. So not a great day at the moment for Rob Max Mob.
Or even the Virgin Media Yamaha.
Oh, Virgin Media Yamaha, sorry. What do I call it? Mobile.
Mobile.
Oh, I'll get a slap for that. Rob will be here in a minute. The big burly.
Consider yourself slapped.
Okay.
Into the last corner.
I did remember the Optima Loans.
Yeah,
part.
well done, well done. It is a mouthful. 0.8. Let's see if Jonathan Ray has got any closer.
Oh, he must have done. 5,
yes.
Yep. And the fastest lap going to Johnny Ray. Johnny Ray now has the lap record. Johnny Ray in 2nd place has the lap record here at Mondello Park. And I tell you, this is just going to shape up as this race goes on. We've just started half lap. We're half distance, I should say. And really, this is the point where Johnny Ray and everyone else is getting used to it. It's a question of tyres,
it's a race of two halves. Have the Dunlop shot their bolt?
Well, I don't think so. I just think it's Johnny Ray building up. This is the maturity of this young man. He might only be 20 years old, but, oh, he runs it a bit wide there, and Keogh's had an opportunity to get underneath him. Oh. Keogh comes to the apex, but Johnny Ray sweeps majestically across the front of him. So the Ulsterman holds him at bay. But I tell you what, there's a lot of pressure here for Jonathan Ray. He's getting it from his own teammate, and his teammate can't go to sleep either because Shane Byrne's there. Then it's Lavia on the 36 bike, right with them. This bunch. Well, this is going to be a five-man race for the finish.
Shane thinking about it. Nice.
Up the inside in a beautiful manner.
Beautiful pass. Loads of front grip there on the Stobart Vent Axie Honda. On the brakes, turned it in. Really sweet pass.
Next up will be Lavia on Chianari. Lavia will be trying and put a few men between him and Chianari if he possibly can. That would be the best bet of the day, but at the moment, it's all changed, isn't it? Ray just put in the fastest lap of the race and a new lap record and pulls away in second place. Then we've got Shaky interfering with Chianari, and soon Chianari's got Lavia to play with as well.
I reckon Haslam has increased his gap now. I mean, Jonathan Ray a little bit wide there, Chianari under him, lots going on behind them, but Haslam putting a real strong race together.
As we both go for the monitor. Haslam put his fastest lap of the race in last time, and again, another personal best, 39.6 for Haslam. Haslam getting quicker and quicker as we look at Shaky, sliding it underneath Chianari. Oh, down goes the Bridewell. Yeah,
Tommy Bridewell.
On the naturally breast, that's the younger one of the two Bridewells. Tommy Bridewell, the 18 bike, has gone down then. And Ollie Bridewell, his brother, on bike 46, he's still out on the racetrack, and we can see it again. Whoa, big high side. That's the most air I've seen somebody have this year.
That's massive. That's so fast there. The back end of the bike coming around, but he's unable to pick it up and get in the big bit of the tyre, and that just launched them so hard. That's 100 mile an hour, that crash rate.
It's how much he's fired into the air. The last time I saw someone that high, I think it was Carl Fogarty out in Suzuka, Suzuka. Going back many years.
I go back to Christian Sarn at the Nürburgring on a YZR 500 Yamaha high siding into.
Yeah, but it was almost normal for Sarn.
Well, yeah, he's just. I think he beat his personal best that day as far as height goes.
That record, Shane Byrne.
Wow.
So Shane Byrne.
I'm not surprised.
No, you aren't surprised, and I can vouch for him as well. He's not just making it up as he goes along, because he did say before any of this race turned a wheel.
It's just panning out. It is so interesting when there is no dry testing time. There is a certain amount of guesswork goes on as far as tyres and suspension setup goes, and you just see which team does the best job. But Shane Byrne looking really strong. Not out of the question he could win this one.
Aaron Zanotti on the SMT bike has got a bit of a problem. I think he's just been in pit lane, so Aaron Zanotti, big problem for him at the moment. We'd have expected a little bit more. I seem to remember him laying down in the dirt yesterday at the hairpin. He was, as through goes. Well, that's a great opportunist move there
and
from
Shane
Lavia.
Byrne underneath Jonathan Ray looks like.
So Lavia's gone through. Shane Byrne, has he made it through on Jonathan Ray? Yes, he has. Shane Byrne goes second. Well, he was the fastest man out on the racetrack. The Stobart Ventaxia bike, Ray is sideways on as he comes to the curb. Haslam still leads. Well, Shane Byrne then consolidates his positioning on the racetrack. Wow, Mackenzie, I don't know who you had communications with. For sure, we all rate Shane Byrne as a proper racer. Had an off yesterday, battered himself a little bit. He's a little bit bruised as well from a crash yesterday. But really, look at him now, it's dry. That Stobart Vent Axia bike, well, the boys are going to be going mad. Oh, that's why. He ran it out a little wide, didn't he, Jonathan Ray? Got out on the curb and just left the gap.
Although he's got good pace and good rhythm, he does seem to have made a couple of mistakes, whether it's the bike, whether it's lack of grip, but he's been wide a few times, and that's just cost him time and let riders have a look up his inside.
2/3 distance have been completed, of course, so that means if we have a safety car out now, I tell you what, this is going to be a line-up for Lavia. Lavia looking to get on there early if he can and get the drive up to the next right-hander, but I don't think even with that Ducati was able to do it. The Honda just punched out of there a little bit neater and a little bit better. 2/3 distance, I'll complete my sentence, and effectively if a safety car comes out now, they will extend the race by up to 3 laps to compensate for that.
Lavia's
there goes Lavia. Lavia did it in the end. Jonathan Ray drops back to 4th place now. Well, this is not the result that HM Plant Honda actually thought they were going to get, although I know they wouldn't have been presumptuous enough to think that a race win was going to be a foregone conclusion, but to be passed in the manner that they have shows that they do have a problem. Haslam really is under attack.
He's got some time, hasn't he? He's got time to look. He's 1.7 seconds in front of Lavia.
And he can turn that bike better than the Ducati seems to be turning. Yeah.
Sheer Haslam on the rev limiter there. He rides that thing different to Lavia. He touches the rev limiter quite a lot, uses the traction control. Different rider altogether in Lavia.
Well, Leon looked round then straight into the pale blue eyes of Shane Byrne, and he couldn't have been any closer than he was as Leon looked round. So Haslam, under no illusions whatsoever, if he didn't believe his board, he checked for himself.
Yeah.
Lap 15 of 18, coming to the conclusion of lap 15 pretty soon. Haslam, Byrne, Lavia. Let's take a look down. Marty Nutt, an Ulsterman, leads the Superbike Cup section of this race at the moment as we watch the battle for the lead. At the moment, we don't take our eyes off of it. McCormack, now there's a bit of a ride as well from full team. Brian McCormack on the Tag Racing Honda. Good man in second place in the Superbike Cup. And then Paul Barron, another local man who's having a great ride out as well. So Paul Barron doing the business. Last lap time, it's last lap time. Haslam on the 91 bike leads Shane Byrne on the Stobart Vent Axia Honda. So it's Airwaves Ducati versus Honda. Coming up behind them is Gregorio Lavia, back marker coming into view now. That is going to be a problem, I'm almost certain. So, will they catch him where he can? Losing a bit of traction there, Byrne as well. So Byrne having just a little bit of a problem now. I think it's James Buckingham that's coming into view at the moment on the 56 bike. That's the key garage machine. And really, there's nowhere here. He's going to be crossing. Oh, good man.
Yeah.
So Buckingham moves out of the way. Super style from him. And really, they'll thank him for that afterwards, because it's just a dogfight between these two. And this is where Byrne is quickest on this part of the track. And he's going to, I reckon them double right-handers is where he's going to try and make a shove up the inside, because he looks so good there.
I don't know, I reckon he could be coming around that long left into the tight right.
Here we go then, through the right-hander.
I reckon it's this next section where he's got a chance, but it doesn't look like he's close enough. Right?
Feet off the footrest. This is the last lap in case you were asleep. I don't know how you did it if you were. Oh, out wide goes Haslam, and it is that double right-hander that I was talking about. It was almost Haslam giving it to him. Almost giving it to him, but now will it have lost the momentum through this right-hander, and then we're on the closing run. Haslam surely is going to take this win now. Through the left, I don't think it's over yet though, having said that, because Byrne is biting back through this left
corner. He's thinking last corner.
Last corner is the one that it's going to have to be if Haslam can't get the power down. Oh, look at this. So through this left-hander, this is the one now. Last corner time, down to Dunlop corner, not close enough to make a force through, unless of course Haslam squares it up and drives it badly out of this bottom gear corner for him. To the line then, Leon Haslam will take his first win of the year from Shane Byrne. What a fantastic result for Haslam, but what a great ride from Shane Byrne. Shane Byrne coming from the second row of the grid. Lavia gets a podium from the third row of the grid too. Who is going to be fourth? Should be Johnny Ray by a mile. Johnny Ray over Chianari in fifth place, I'm sure. Chianari goes over the line. And then this big battle. Harris gets a good scalp, actually. The Hydrex Honda gets a scalp over the Bike Animal Honda. So Harris over Camia, 6th and 7th. Crutchlow, there is a Suzuki in 8th place. Chris Walker is beaten by his young teammate into 9th place. Tommy Hill should come through into 10th place on the Virgin Media Optima Loans Yamaha. Jonathan Ray takes up pole position for the second time today alongside his teammate Chianari, and launching in the air was Leon Camia on the Bike Animal bike in the middle of the pack, but it is again Jonathan Ray who gets a great start, and sweeping majestically across his nose is Leon Haslam, but Haslam being thwarted in that move. That was audacious to say the least, as Jonathan Ray got the best start on the HM Plant Honda for the Airways Ducati, and a wheeling Shane Shaky Byrne. How much does he want to win here today? The 67 bike of Byrne absolutely leaping out of the corner. We're looking back at Haslam from your race leader, Jonathan Ray. So Jonathan Ray, how much did he want to hear the British national anthem for himself? It was Haslam in the event for the first playing of that tune this year in the Bennett's British Superbike Championship. We're on lap 1 of 18 then. How's it going to move out, do you think, Neil? Well,
Jonathan Ray got the whole shot in race 1, but Leon Haslam was soon sweeping past them and then led right till the flag. But Michelin now have to have a tyre on that's going to work in the opening laps. It has to work the first 5 or 6 laps because Dunlop had the advantage in race 1.
Let's take a look at this again. Well, oh dear me, that's all a bit... Cal Crutchlow then taking a look at it all from on board, and you can see the two HM Plant boys getting together, but Crutchlow looking for a way around the outside of all these guys at Honda the first turn, but it's Jonathan Ray that leads from Haslam, from the Stobart Vent Axia bike, and there is Cal Crutchlow.
Well,
what a superb fourth place that is.
I just hope it wasn't a jump start, because it was pretty sharp on the line. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, that looks like a big off just there. So who is number 28? That is Neil Falconer. So Neil Falconer on the Team Emco NSF Racing Yamaha is down on the deck, and I have to say that with the way those bales are being stacked, oh, he's gone straight on at that left-hander. Does he make the barrier? He gets beat up by the bike. So Neil Falconer goes in there a bit hard, and that looks to me like he's been knocked out there momentarily as well. It's one of those, that's at the holiday bend here, and well, we might see that we have a safety car in a moment or two while they deal with that particular incident, because the last thing you need is a load of flying motorcycles coming in that gravel track when you've got marshals and medics trying to deal with a rider. Oh, big off there. That's Zanotti, isn't it? The
Hudson
64 bike.
Kenner.
And that's one of the, yeah, that is Hudson Kenner. Hudson Kenner is picking up the Virgin Media bike, but that is Zanotti, I think, that's laying down there, perhaps. Is that 64? We're going to have the safety car out there now, definitely, with that. Hudson Kenner, the South African, then, has gone down with 64. That is Aaron Zanotti on the SMT Yamaha.
Whoa.
Yeah,
there was nowhere for him to go, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was a nasty accident. So the safety car and the medics have gone out there now. We are under a yellow caution period again. There he's up on his feet. That is remarkable. Zanotti is up on his feet. So Zanotti has taken the biggest beating today, and he's walking away from it as quick as that.
I'm not sure he'll know where he is at the moment.
Well, I think he's on his way to Dublin, isn't he? He's just walking out into the fields.
So good to see.
Wouldn't mind seeing that again, just because it's a remarkable... There's Rob Mack to the left of your picture at the moment. I mean, he must be holding his breath a bit as well. New signing Hudson Kenner involved in a big accident. That is Hudson Kenner, and there is Aaron Zanotti. Whoa, that will have given the old sponsors a bit of a scare for a moment or two. The lights are off on the safety car, so we're going to be back under racing conditions. I suppose the only good thing to come out of this at the end of the day was no rider had managed to pull a great big lead out and then have it eked into by a safety car period. So we go back under racing in very similar conditions. Might have given Carl Harris a little bit more to fight with. Of course, Carl Harris is on the rear end of Lavia, and it's closed it up for Lavia as well.
Look at Haslam sneaking up there, making the best of this. Jonathan Ray holding them all up.
Got to be careful though. Jonathan Ray is holding them all up. Nobody's allowed to pass until they go over the line. Otherwise you pick up a ride-through penalty. So anybody that makes a pass before the line. So Ray holds on to it. We look back at Haslam from Jonathan Ray's HM Plant Honda. Lap 5 of 18. We only add laps to this race after 2/3 distance if we go under a safety car period. So this race will still be only 18 laps.
Leon Haslam is definitely thinking about a pass there into turn 1.
And I think Carl Harris there is getting all racy on the Hydrex bike, just in front of Gregorio Lavia as well. He's closed in behind Cal Crutchlow on this restart.
Yeah,
and,
this has worked good for Lavia though.
Very good. Very good, because he won't have to use up his tyres to force his way forward.
Exactly, at a fair old gap to the front runners now, but he's right on the tail. They're all line astern now, so it's just a case of trying to pick one off every lap, and he'll soon be in touch.
I'll tell you where I'm going immediately after this race to try and find out what's happening with Leon Cameo on the bike animal machine. Really not putting it together here at Mondello. A little bit subdued at Snetterton as here comes Haslam. Haslam up the inside of Johnny Ray. Nice class move. And straight away Johnny Ray looks to try and snatch it back and grabs it back at that double right-hander and forces out Haslam and lets loose Shaky Byrne. Shane Byrne has taken the advantage as well. Shane Byrne has gone through. Haslam's gone back to 3rd place. Well, ever the opportunist. We say it all the time about Shane Byrne. He is a monster when there's an opportunity, isn't there? Look at that. He's gone through to the front. Unbelievable. Shane Byrne has hit the front. He has taken advantage of Leon Haslam when the youngsters were duking it out, and through went Shane Byrne. Surprised Jonathan Ray as well, as he did us, and it is Shane Shaky Byrne that leads on the Stobart Van Axia Honda, and really Paul Byrne is going to be absolutely extended. There's Harris under Crutchlow. Harris grabs Crutchlow. Crutchlow bashing into Harris.
Slammed by Crutchlow.
He is too, absolutely hammer and tong at it at the moment. Well, we've got battles all over the track, quite right too. This is British Superbikes. Shaky leads, Ray 2nd, number 91, Leon Haslam in 3rd place. 4th is Kianari, the defending champion. Then it's Crutchlow on the Blue Rizza Suzuki, going hammer and tong with Carl Harris. And believe me, he is not a boy you pick on, is he?
Incredible. Oh, Lavia underneath Keo.
Oh, what a great move again. That is a favourite passing place. That double, that's turn 7A and B, and they just love digging it in there. And if you've got a great front end on your motorbike, you can just rush on in with the brake feathered and get underneath. And now it is the 2 Airway Ducati joined at the hip. 91 is Haslam, 36 is Gregorio Lavia, and behind both of those men now is the series leader, and that is Leon.
Quite often riders that pass, they run wide and then the rider can come back underneath them, but Lavia had that covered.
Oh, down has gone Walker. He's out. That looks like a mechanical failure more than an actual crash failure. So Chris Walker, well, will that be the last time we see him ride a Rizza Suzuki? Is the question. He is a faller at turn 3, so that was actually designated a faller up into turn 3. That long right-hander that tightens on the way, 2/3 of the way through it. So Chris Walker is out, and possibly permanently.
Well,
we'll wait and see if that rumour is actually true.
Unfortunately for Chris, he just stuck in his fastest lap at 1:40.001, so he's obviously pushing hard.
Now, if they could cast their net now, they'd get Darrell Healy and team manager Colin Wright together.
Stern faces and airwaves the catty camp. There goes Lavia.
Lavia goes underneath Haslam. Oh, but Haslam holds him off, pulls it tight. I was amazed Gregorio could actually slow that motorcycle up in the middle of that corner without touching him.
He had it covered because he did commit, but you can see Haslam coming back and just had to roll a little bit.
I was about to say, Stuart Easton out. The MSS Discovery Kawasaki's coming off the back of a long TT. And look at this. I mean, he did have it covered, but he knew Haslam was going to come across on him. Class action, Gregorio Lavia. Some riders would have just carried on, wouldn't they, and run into...
Yeah, and I can't knock Leon Haslam because he's not giving anything away. There's no team orders, obviously.
Well, he's just given that away again as we cut the other way. Shaky. And I'll tell you what, you can see the look on their faces there.
That's Tom Sykes' granddad there.
And through has come, Keogh's taken advantage of those two coming together at the hairpin at the Dunlop corner. The two Airways Ducatis came together, and really Chianari has now managed to get through on Lavia.
Jonathan Ray's just put in the fastest lap. Another lap record for Jonathan Ray. He's on the rear end of Shane Byrne.
38.672. Let's take another look at this. These two really got together coming out of there. Shaking his head is Haslam, but really I'm not sure that that was anybody's fault other than the fact they both wanted the same bit of tarmac. Christian Palmer still leads the Superbike Cup Series with Marty Nutt in second place and Paul Barron having another great ride there in third place in the Superbike Cup. But all eyes are on the factory boys. Look at this, Jonathan Ray having to go around the outside, and that is an absolutely kept the momentum, kept the power up, found his way in. Can he hold it down? No, he can't. Oh, great stuff coming from Shane Shaky Byrne. The ex-MotoGP man knows how to put up a fight when he has to. Jonathan Ray is not in a situation. This is not PlayStation. This is reality. These two stuck together. What a beautiful set of moves.
I could hear the crowd going mad here in Southern Ireland outside the commentary box. Just what they want. They want to see an Irish rider at front, but Shane Byrne's not having any of that. And you can see Jonathan Ray accelerating out of that right-hander, spinning up the engine last corner.
Bounces his way up the inside. He's going to make a block pass. Surely he does if he can pull it down to the apex. This is where that bike should be quick enough to stay in front, easily in front of the Stobart machine down this front straight. You can see there from looking back from Jonathan Ray. Wow. What a great set of corners we've just seen from these two men. Really, really good, close, hard, tough racing.
It's a short straight. It was still enough to give him a bit of an advantage. He put some air between them. But look who's in the background. Leon Haslam catching Shane Byrne, and Jonathan Ray's gapped him already.
Well, they were interfering with each other a little bit, weren't they, in that last lap, I suppose. Haslam still there in third place. Lavia still fourth, fifth, still Chianari. These five well away from the rest as it is at the moment. 1:38.6, another fastest lap from Johnny Ray then out front. So Jonathan Ray just bangs in time after time after
He's having
time.
a laugh now. He's playing around at the front. He doesn't need to do that, but he's obviously comfortable and obviously happy. Here goes Lavia under Haslam.
Lavia goes third at that double right-hander, turn 7 and 8, I think that is. 7A, 7B is the only name I've got for it here on my sheet. They rename these tracks, don't they, quite often? They have a habit of doing that at Knock Hill as well. It's always very annoying.
Yeah, I was stuck in a bit of a rut with the Knock Hill corners, but I don't think Lavia's stuck in a rut. He can see his second place still, Shane Byrne.
Well, this is very, very important for him. The more people he can get between himself and Chianari back in what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th place. Chianari right off the pace now. It's amazing, isn't it? Chianari's bike doesn't look like it's hooking up. He was a bit out of the saddle just there coming onto that little straight. I reckon, I don't know what choices Chris Pike and his side of the garage have made over Adrian Gorston, their side of the garage, but certainly it's distinctively different. It's got to be distinctively different for this much difference. Chianari was matching Jonathan Ray in race 1. Can't get near him in this race.
Yeah, I definitely made some changes there. They're unequal in performance at the moment. Damage limitation for Chianari.
Last lap, of course, this is at the moment. Jonathan Ray, well, he had his 5th pole of his career in Superbikes today, and now he's about to convert it for the first time, surely, and take his first ever Bennett's British Superbike race win here on Irish soil. I know he's an Ulsterman at the end of the day, but it does count, certainly from an Englishman commentating. Last lap time, Still, it's going to be about whether Lavia manages to pinch second place and maximise the amount of points he can get between he and fellow contender. Oh, Crutchlow's gone down, and I think he's praying, praying perhaps that Paul Denning won't get hold of him.
Lavia's trying to set himself up. You're not quite close
Hasn't
enough to pass him. No, way past Haslam there, but not close enough.
No.
But still the last corner.
I think he carries good corner speed through there. Does the Stobart bike of Shane Byrne, and really this is going to be, I can't see him going into a dogfight side by side with Shane Byrne at the last corner. We'll wait and see. Depends how much drive he gets out of this left-hander, and if Shane Byrne manages to keep it under control. I think Shane Byrne set himself up onto the fat bit of the tyre. Oh no, we've got this left-hander, sorry, wrong left-hander. This is the one that counts now. Big blast up the hill into Dunlop corner appropriately for the last time for Shane Byrne, but it's the Michelin shod Jonathan Ray that takes his first ever British Superbike win. Shane Byrne takes his second of the weekend. Lavia has made it all work out perfectly for him in third place. It would have been better, he would have preferred it to be better. Big hug for Jonathan Ray Senior there in the garage at the HM Plant Honda. Tom Sykes doesn't get the better of Camia. Camia finishes in 6th place after 2 races today then at Mondello Park. Look at that, a point in it between Ryoichi Chianari and Gregorio Lavia. It's a game-on situation. Jonathan Ray, though, closes right in with that win. 25 points for a win, closes him right up. Leon Haslam on 169. Camia on 136. Shane Byrne does his campaign. A whole load of good on 127 now, but a little adrift of your leading men. Tom Sykes on 115 and Chris Walker on 83.